Thank you so much for watching my channel. I'm going to give you some things that might help you get out of a citation. And I've watched attorneys and PIs and people try to put forth knowledge to try to help people to try to get the police officer to let them go without writing them a citation. I'll give you all the advantage. If you want to take some of these and use them, great. If you don't, I understand that. But first and foremost, understand that a lot of people that get written citations don't believe they do what the actual police officer told them that they did. So at that particular point, you have to make a decision. Are you going to be that cat that's going to tell the cop what they really feel about why the cop stopped them? Maybe lash out a little bit, maybe get angry. Maybe you're going to be dealing with a prick cop. Maybe they're really upset. Maybe they have a horrible home life. Maybe they hate their kids. Maybe they hate their job. Maybe they really shouldn't be in that profession, but you know what? They've been locked in for a number of years and they really don't care. So whatever it is, you have to understand that you want to try to get the best for you through the process. So if you get stopped, sure, you can scream and kick and get upset and yell and be angry. It just doesn't seem to help. So let's just pull back just a little bit and let's not try to attack the police officer, but let's try to figure out the best way to get through the process with as little damage as possible. And what I mean by damage is getting cited or having your window ripped off or your door ripped off or tased or sprayed with OC or whatever it may be. So that first thing that really meant a lot to me, because most of the people I stopped, they said they weren't doing it. They didn't do what I said they were doing. Whenever I had people that said what it is I said they were doing or admitted it, and this is kind of a slippery slope, because you might run into those people that are going to say, they admitted it, so I'm going to write the ticket, and then you're done. But in my mind, from my experience, there were so few people that actually said they did what I said they were doing. It was remarkable. And the ones that are most memorable, because it was so rare, I rarely wrote those people tickets because they understood. And the banter was usually something like this. Oh my gosh, officer, I didn't realize. But you know what? My mind is elsewhere. My wife is giving birth. In fact, at 1 o'clock today, they're going to be inducing labor at Henry Mayo Medical Hospital out there in Santa Clarita. And it's just really been on my mind. So, yeah, very well could have let my speed get away from me. Just got so much on my mind. I'm even getting piloerection just talking about that. That's goosebumps for those of you that don't know that. It sounds worse. But so anyway, that being that part of the process, like, you know what? Congratulations. Have a great day. I appreciate you pulling over so quickly. That's something else. Pulling over kind of fast isn't bad. Don't slam on your brakes so the cop slams into you, because that's a whole nother set of issues. But actually pulling over, giving the cop plenty of room, keeping your hands out in the open, and try not to have that angry attitude. But a lot of times we have an attitude because other people are giving us attitude. If the police officer comes up and asks you if you know why they stopped you, a lot of people say, well, don't say anything, just be silent. Usually that answer should be, officer, I have no idea, unless your mind is elsewhere. And unless your mind's elsewhere, and you can give a story. And what's interesting about the story thing is it shows you to be so much different than everybody else. I'm not saying lying, but maybe somebody in your family is going in for surgery. Maybe you're going to have some kind of thing going on at the doctor later. Maybe you got a bad medical result in the mail an hour before you were stopped and your brain was somewhere else. That actually doesn't hurt, but that helps. Not that you're going to lie about it, but if you have something like that to offer, it's not bad. Now, of course, if they write you a ticket, you fight it, you go to court, and you were lying at the very beginning, and maybe the judge gets happy and says, so what is this medical procedure you went to? And you have nothing to show for that, or no offering, could be even a bigger issue. But what I'm saying is whenever you get stopped, you might not be treated the best by the police officer, and I know we should be treated better. Whenever I went up to a violator, I introduced myself. First, I bid them whatever time of day it was, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I'm Officer McIver, Los Angeles Police Department, Valley Traffic Division. The reason why I stop you today is I have you locked in at 55 miles an hour on laser in a 35 mile an hour zone. Do you have any legal justification for your speed? That was the presentation. Very, very to the matter. they would explain or say something. I would say, I do appreciate that, but I need to see your license, registration, and insurance. And they'd give it to me, and then I would tell them what I was going to do. There's no secret. That's the other thing that I think police officers should offer. There is no secret. Tell the violator what you're going to do. I'm going to go back and issue a citation for unsafe speed. I will be back in just a moment and explain it. Please remain in your car. It'll be safer for you there. And then I step back and I issue the citation, come back, and I explain to them that their signature is not an admission of guilt, just a promise to appear in court on that date, prior to that date or on that date and time that's indicated on the citation, give a court location, these sorts of things. Now, in most cases, you don't want to give up too much because even back then I had everything tape recorded. Now most everybody is videotaping everything with audio. You yourself as a person being pulled over, not a bad suggestion to be recording it also, but is that going to cause some kind of a pain point for the officer where that's going to bother them to a point they might issue a citation? You know, watch those videos that I put up and you see some of the cops, the way they raise up their hand trying to block the camera. It's like they're some Hollywood movie star. I don't understand it. You have the right to film, and maybe the newer generation is there, but a lot of the videos I put up, as you've seen, they're not very camera friendly. So maybe filming the police officer, maybe that's not a super good move if you want to try to get out of the citation. You know, quickly, that's great. Being respectful, that's fine. You know, respect when you give respect, maybe, but in some cases that falls short. So the best ways to really stay out of getting cited, maybe to be something that's going on in your life. If you are driving really fast, there is probably something going on. We all have problems. Maybe that's something you can mention. Maybe not while you're going to be admitting to it, but because maybe you don't remember specifically ever violating the posted speed. But it could be that you are going through something that could potentially be your focus. So your response could be, well, you know, I guess I could have any independent recollection of speeding, but, you know, I did get diagnosed with leukemia yesterday, and I'm still trying to wrap my mind around it. Or, you know, a dog that I just had to put down, a 15-year-old lab that was my best friend that my dad got me, and God rest his soul, he's no longer. Stuff like that, you know, a bad tactic. Now, coming off angry and upset, well, you don't want to give too much evidence either, just because, you know, you are going to fight this in court. And this is, of course, for everybody that's innocent. If you are going to fight this in court later, you're going to not want to come to Jesus too often or maybe say things that could incriminate you. Anyway, hopefully this helps give you an idea, maybe a good way, just a different thought on the getting pulled over citation thing. I'm Connor with Honor, the Ticket Whisperer, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks for watching.